EdinaAttorney.com and PSB Sports presents the 2016 Edina Invitational Tournament. Hi everybody, I'm Howard Luloff, welcoming you to the final game of the 2016 tournament that will decide the BantamAA Championship between the Wayzata Trojans and the White Bear Lake Bears. It's the only championship of the day that does not have a team facing Edina. If you missed the last game, it was a dandy of a game with the Edina Hornets led by John Tucker's goal with 1:32 left in double overtime. Beat the Minnetonka Skippers 5-4, and we're underway with the AA championship game in the Bantam division. The puck goes into the White Bear Lake zone. There's a race for the puck, but it will be icing 9 seconds into the first period. We're glad you can join us from Braemar Arena in Edina. Here's how both teams got into the championship game. Wayzata played White Bear Lake in round robin play and beat them 3-2. They beat Colorado 6-2 and shut out the Blaine Bengals 3-0. That's Billy Rose for White Bear Lake. Fraga clears it away for the Trojans. The puck remains in the Wayzata zone. And it's poked away by Zach Dornfeld. Now it's Brady O'Brien for the Bears. Luke Getz sends it up the ice where Fraga clears it away. As the puck will go out of play with 13:31 to go in the first period. Wayzata beat Edina in the semifinals 6-5. Ryan Mulrenan and Reed Sanders had 2 goals apiece in the semifinals. Mulrenan has 4 goals going into the championship game, along with Joel Matthews. That's Sam Newpower for White Bear. Dribbling the puck is Owen Gallatin. Now it's Dornfeld. O'Brien sends it over to Henry Fusco. It will be icing with 12:34 to go in the first period. Here's how White Bear Lake advanced into the championship. They beat Wayzata 3-2 in their round-robin game. They beat the Blaine Bengals 4-2 and shut out Colorado 7-0. In the semifinal game, they beat Bloomington Jefferson 4-1. Billy Rose had 2 goals for the Bears. Now it's Dornfeld for White Bear. Dornfeld, in his own territory, sends it off the boards, goes past Fusco and picked up by Ryan Mulrenan. Goes past Nick Gardner. Now it's Chase Bill for White Bear. There's a shot, goes off Danny Fraga. And Fraga makes another save. Here comes Luke Fairchild. Goes off of Wyatt Vint. They reverse the names in the program as Vint Wyatt. Whoever he may be. Goes through the slot. Now it's Spencer Millard for White Bear. As Wyzetta goes on the attack, the shot goes into the White Bear zone where it is picked up by Jake Klein. New power. Tries to wrap it. Fraga with a save. 5 minutes gone by in a scoreless first period. That's Millard going along the boards for White Bear. Joel Matthews goes wide to the right of Vint. Here comes a shot. Goes into traffic. But White Bear digs it out, taken by Gallatin. Jack Steidel for the Bears. Now it's Gallatin in his own territory, picked up by Blake Meister. Meister sends it along the boards. Here comes a shot. Fraga with a save. There will also be a penalty on the play for tripping at 6:09. It will be the first power play opportunity for White Bear Lake as Braden Nelson will serve a couple of minutes for tripping. Cleared by Vint. Now it's Gallatin for White Bear. Gallatin in his own territory. Sends it over to Chase Bill. That's Cameron Berg. Here comes a shot but goes into traffic. Taken by Billy Rose, who had 2 goals in the semifinals against Jefferson. Vint with a save on the clear. Goes wide to the right of Fraga. And another shot. Goes off of Fraga. .48 seconds left in the power play for White Bear Lake. That's Billy Rose in his own territory. 25 seconds left in the Bears' power play. O'Brien. It's Dornfeld. And that will end the penalty for Wayzata. They will be at full strength. And play will stop with 6:44 remaining in the scoreless first period. We'd like to welcome everyone watching across the great state of Minnesota, all across the United States, and also around the world. So if you're watching the game on the web somewhere in a foreign country, please give us a tweet. We'd love to hear from you, wherever you may be in the world. There is also a penalty on the Trojans. Reed Sanders will go off for a couple of minutes at 8:16. As White Bear Lake will once again go on the power play. 0 for 1 on the power play. It is a bench minor on Wayzata for too many men on the ice. That's Dornfeld in the center slot. Here comes the shot, but it goes into traffic. Wayzata clears it down the ice. And that's Dornfeld behind the net. Dornfeld looking for an open white jersey. Sends it over to Brady O'Brien. O'Brien near the Wayzata bench. That's Cade Gullett. 1 minute remaining in the White Bear power play. That's O'Brien in his own territory. O'Brien once again. Hofeld. Picked up by Joel Matthews. Knocked down by Billy Rose. 37 seconds remaining in the White Bear power play. That's Gallatin. Gallatin goes under the corner. Now it's Chase Bill for White Bear. 18 seconds left in the power play. Billy Rose. The Chase Bill. And the penalty comes to an end. Here comes a shot. Wide to the left of Fraga. Dribbles it a few times. Here comes a shot. Saved by Fraga. Chase Bill was on the shot. Now it's Gallatin for the Bears. Wide open action in the first period. That's Gallatin. Picked up by Sanders, and there will be a face-off with 3:42 to go in the opening period. There are a total of 5 ranked teams in the field in the BantamAA tournament. Wayzata is ranked 3rd. White Bear Lake is 12th. Edina, who Wayzata beat in the semifinals, is ranked number 2 in the state. As there's a shot that goes very close to Vint, but he hangs on. The number 1 team in BantamAA is Minnetonka, whose A team made it to the championship and lost in double overtime to Edina. Minneapolis is 11th and Blaine is 7th. A high shot off the glass. Nick Gardner. That's Alice, Luke Alice for White Bear Lake. There will be a face-off with 3:05 to go in the first period and zeros on the board. The newest addition to Braemar Arena opened last year. The backyard rink just out the window from the West Arena. Which allows for some outdoor hockey. So there are now 4 rinks at Braemar. The shot goes into the White Bear zone where it's picked up by O'Brien. Now it's Dornfeld for the Bears, sends it over along the boards. Vint with a save. Now it's Matthews for Wayzata. Deflected off of Vint, picked up by Mulrinen. Now it's Steidel. Under 2 minutes remaining in the first period. Now Wayzata goes on the attack but loses it. Picked up by Steidel. Now it's Gallatin for the Bears going along the boards. Billy Rose. And that's Meister. Meister in the neutral zone. 2-on-1. Goes back into the boards with 1:18 to go in the first period. And the puck that goes into the crowd. Nobody picked up the puck except for somebody behind the rink wearing a Wayzata jacket. I don't think he'll have a souvenir of the tournament. Nor can he get an autograph. The face-off goes to Wayzata. But White Bear, as we head into the final minute of the first period. That's Hofeld. Hofeld in his own territory. New Power sends it into the Wayzata bench with 42.6 seconds remaining in the first period. Still zeros on the board. The second time these two teams have played each other, with White Bear Lake beating Wayzata 3-2. The game was played New Year's Eve on the South Rink. They score! With 33.7 seconds left in the first period, White Bear Lake is on the board on a shot from the right corner.
First goal for White Bear Lake, scored by number 17, Cameron Burke, assisted by number 5, Spencer Millar.
Cameron Bird picks up the goal for White Bear Lake, his 4th of the tournament. The assist goes to Spencer Millard. The goal coming at 14:26. White Bear Lake with a 1-goal lead. As the first period will come to a close in the BantamAA championship game with Wyatt Vint picking up the save. At the end of the first period, it's the White Bear Lake Bears 1, the Wayzata Trojans 0. We'll take a break and we'll be back with the second period of the 2016 Edina Invitational BantamAA championship game. Howard Luloff back at Braemar Arena in Edina, where we're getting ready for the second period of the BantamAA championship game in the 2016 Edina Invitational, featuring the Wayzata Trojans and the White Bear Lake Bears, with the Bears leading by a goal. The goal coming with 33.7 seconds remaining in the first period from Cameron Berg. It's Braden Nelson for Wayzata. Here comes an opportunity. Glove save from Danny Fraga. 35 seconds into the second period. They have not changed the 1 on the scoreboard, but it is the second period. Celebrating 60 years of Edina hockey at the Edina History Museum. There's an exhibit celebrating the history from the early days of Edina Morningside to the long coaching career of Willard Eichela, as Fraga makes the save. But if you plan to go to the exhibit, please note that it's only open 2 days a week, Thursday morning and Saturday morning. So if you can't take Thursday off from work, go Saturday and see the history of Edina hockey. One of the great programs in the history of Minnesota high school hockey, as well as youth hockey. Matthews for Wayzata. There will be a face-off with 13:36 remaining in the second period. Cameron Berg scoring his 4th goal of the tournament in the first period. That's Jake Klein for White Bear. Here's Fairchild. There's a shot that goes into the screen with 12:44 remaining in the second period. The co-head coaches for Wayzata are Nathan Hagamo and Joel Gray. The assistant coaches are Nick Kemp, Dan Brown, and former Gopher hockey player Lance Pitlick. His son Rhett plays for Wayzata. The manager is Lori Bergslund. That's Cade Gullett for Wayzata. Sends it along the boards. Here's Mulrenan. Mulrenan goes in. He scores! Ryan Mulrenan picking up his fifth goal of the tournament and evens the game at 1. Mulrenan's goal coming at 2:52 of the second period. Ryan Mulrenan from the left corner.
First goal for Wayzata scored by number 10, Ryan Moreland, assisted by number 4, Joel Matthews, and number 11, Charlie Erickson.
Joel Matthews and Charlie Erickson picked up the assists as the game is even at 1. Here comes an opportunity for White Bear, picked up by Chase Bill. That's Steidel for White Bear. Goes off of Fraga. Sends it around the boards. Centering pass goes nowhere. There will also be a roughing penalty. It looks like it'll be on Billy Rose of White Bear. The penalty coming at 3:44. It will also be the first power play opportunity for Wayzata. The faceoff goes to the Bears, and after a false start, they'll do it again. It's still... That's Bergslund. They wave off any form of icing. Here comes the shot. As Wayzata's making a series of passes. 1 minute remaining in the power play. There's a shot that goes wide to the left of Vint. 54 seconds remaining in the Wayzata power play. Another shot wide to the left of Vint. The centering pass goes into the corner. As White Bear clears it down the ice, Fraga goes out of the net to clear the puck for the Trojans. That's Klein for the Bears. 18 seconds remaining in the Wayzata power play. And there's a goes off a vent as the puck goes past Tommy Bergslund. A penalty is over and White Bear Lake is full strength. That's Joseph Tomzik for Wayzata. Going into the White Bear zone. As Vint will hang on with 8:49 to go in the second period, the game remains even at 1. The coaches for White Bear Lake are Sean Patton, Mike Kopp, Sean Galloway, and Nick Rappa. And we thank the youngster for returning the notes. A lot of important info on there. As a longtime play-by-play man, I can't underemphasize the importance of proper preparation. .8:22 remaining in the second period. It's still a 1-1 game. Cameron Berg scoring for the Bears and Ryan Mulrinen tallying for the Trojans. The final game, the final championship game of the 2016 Edina Invitational, which began just before the end of 2015. As the two teams played at 5 o'clock on New Year's Eve, which left fans plenty of time to go celebrate New Year's Eve. And we hope you drove carefully that night. Here comes the pass, wide to the left of Vint. Now White Bear goes on the attack. Tate Stanfield for the Bears. Stanfield in the corner defended by Joel Matthews. There's a shot going through the slot. It's picked up by Reed Sanders. Sanders sends it up ice. Steered away by Vint. 7:12 to go in the second period. 1-1 game. That's Getz for Wayzata. Along with Brady O'Brien for the Bears. There will be an offside call with 6:37 remaining in the second period. The face-off is in the neutral zone and won by the Bears. Grant Hofeld for the Bears, defended by Bergslund. Bergslund tries to dig it out. Now Wayzata goes on the attack. That's Bergslin. Sends it down the ice, intended for Luke Fairchild. Goes off of Braga. And another shot bounces off the post. Goes into the corner, trying to dig it out is Jack Steidel. Steidel tries to, and taken by Billy Rose. That's Klein. 5 minutes to go in the second period. Here comes Getz for Wayzata. Intercepted by Klein. Play continues in the Wayzata zone. Bergslin sends it down the ice. No icing called. It's picked up by Gallatin. Gallatin in front of the goal. Now he goes into the neutral zone. Trying to get the puck is Tomzik. Now it's Tomzik for Wayzata. There's a Fraga with the save with 4:17 to go in the second period. White Bear Lake with also an outstanding hockey history. One of the most famous players to come out of White Bear Lake was Brian Bonin, who would later play for the Gophers and have a stint in the NHL. Then there was also their second high school, which closed down in '82, White Bear Mariner. Their nickname was the Dolphins. Goes off of Fraga. As Fraga will cover it up just outside the cage with 3:36 to go in the second period. We would like to thank Tournament Director Pete Wagoner for all the hard work he has done for this tournament. He's also this game's public address announcer, probably filling in for somebody who didn't show. I'd do it. But there's a game to call, so can't leave the box. There's a shot that goes wide to the right of Vint. 3:15 to go in the second period. That's Cameron Berg. Fraga pokes it away. There's another shot that goes wide to the left of Fraga. Trying to dig it out is Berg, who has the lone White Bear Lake goal. Here comes a shot. Fraga with the save. Danny Fraga getting tested in the championship game with a couple of good saves with 2:35 to go in the second period. The faceoff goes to the Bears. Racing for the puck is Chase Bill. Nelson. Now it's Gullett in the corner, defended by Bill. 2:10 to go in the second period. The puck circles around, and it's picked up by Hofeld. There will also be icing with minute 56 to go in the second period, all even at 1. Last we heard the Vikings and Packers were all even at 3. And if you're watching the Viking game, we hope you have your laptop on or your tablet so you can watch our game as well as the crucial Vikings-Packers game. I wonder how many people are viewing the game on a tablet. They've become popular over the years. .122 to go in the second period. Here comes an opportunity, but nothing comes of it. As Vint holds on with 1:08 to go in the second period. As both teams will change lines, hoping to get some offense going in the final 68 seconds of the second period. If you just joined us, the Edina Minnetonka game went into double overtime, with John Tucker scoring the game-winning goal to lead Edina to a 5-4 double overtime win over Minnetonka. We're in the final minute of the second period. Here comes it. Goes off a Vint. Here comes an opportunity. Saved by Vint. Down to 10 seconds left in the period. The shot goes over the net. Rebounded by Wyzetta. As the second period will come to a close at Braemar Arena with the score, the Wyzetta Trojans and the White Bear Lake Bears all even at 1. The ice will be resurfaced and we will take a break. We'll be back with the third period of the BantamAA Championship game between the Wyzetta Trojans and the White Bear Lake Bears. You're watching the 2016 Edina Invitational on EdinaTourney.com. Luloff back at Braemar Arena in Edina, where we're just about ready to begin the third period of the BantamAA Championship game of the 2016 Edina Invitational. The Wayzata Trojans and the White Bear Lake Bears are all even at 1. Wayzata tied the game at the 2:52 mark of the second period on the goal from Ryan Mulrenan, his 5th goal of the tournament. Assists coming from Joel Matthews and Charlie Erickson. And that's where things stand, as Donnie Fraga has been playing some outstanding in goal. Where the shots on goal after 2 periods, White Bear Lake 18, Wayzata 17. And good news for Viking fans. They just took the lead on a Chris Walsh field goal. 6-3 with less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. As both teams go back to their benches. The third period is underway. They try to center it, but it's picked up by Billy Rose. Rose goes up right by the bench. There was also a loose puck. Rose picks it up. Now it's Mulrenan for Wayzata. Takes a shot. Goes off a vent. Goes wide to the right, a vent. Erickson. Just barely missed the net. As the puck was just ahead of the red line. It was almost a 2-1 lead for Wayzata. Gardner tries to dig it out for the Trojans. Cleared out by Vint. There's an offside call with 13:06 to go in regulation. If you missed tonight's game or would like to see it again, go to edinaattorney.com. You can see the BantamAA and AA championship games as well as the remaining championship games that were played earlier today on demand. You can even watch them on YouTube. Just type in 2016 Edina Invitational into the search engine and you'll get to the... There's a shot, they score! Wayzata takes the lead 2-1 at the 2:08 mark of the third period. Some good passing inside the slot. And we'll find out from Pete Wagoner who gets the leading goal for the Trojans. But unfortunately, we do not have a replay. Reed Sanders.
Second goal scored for Wayzata by number 6, Reed Sanders, assisted by
Reed Sanders picking up his 4th goal of the tournament. And it could be a big one for Wayzata since they're now in the lead 2-1. Goes off of Fraga. And Vint will hold on with 11:48. There's also a penalty coming up. It will be on Sam Newpower. And Tommy Bergslund will also go, so no time is on the clock when there's a coincidental penalty. As the stick flies into the bleachers. Fortunately, nobody was in the stands as there's going to be a penalty coming up. It will be a holding penalty at 3:27. So the penalty will go against Wayzata. It will go to Charlie Erickson. So White Bear Lake will be on the power play with a chance to tie the game at 2.
Minor penalties with assist to Wayzata's number 11, Charlie Erickson, 2 minutes for holding.
Erickson off for holding. As Fraga will hold on with 11:09 to go in regulation time. There's a shot that goes wide to the right of Fraga. .36 seconds left and the penalty as the shot goes off the pipe. That's Bill for White Bear. Bill goes into traffic. Bill with another shot. Deflected by a Wayzata player. 17 seconds left in the White Bear power play. The puck going back into the White Bear zone. It's picked up by Gallatin. Gallatin in his own territory. Another shot. Rebound. And another shot that goes in. Another shot goes through the crease. Here comes Play continues in the Wayzata zone. 8 minutes to go in the third period. Here comes a shot, but it goes on the traffic, and it goes wide to the left of Fraga. Intercepted by Klein. Wayzata playing a strong defense on White Bear Lake. That's Luke Allis for the Bears. There's a shot. Fraga with the save with 7:23 in regulation. It's also icing with 6:57 to go in regulation time. As the coincidental penalties have been completed. The face-off is to the right of Danny Fraga. Trying to dig it out is Chase Bill. Goes off of Fraga. Fraga out of the net, but he comes back in. That's Dornfeld. Fraga with another save. And here comes an opportunity. It's picked up by Henry Fusco. There's a long shot, goes wide to the right of Vint. Here's Gallatin for the Bears, going into the slot. .5:15 in regulation. Here's Bergslund. Now Millard. .445 in regulation. There's icing with 4:20 to go in regulation time. In addition to Braemar Arena, other venues that were used throughout the Edina Invitational were the Bloomington Ice Garden and the Minnesota-made Ice Center, located not too far from Braemar, off of 77th Street. Fraga with the save. Klein sends it wide to the right of Fraga. 4 minutes to go in regulation. That's Klein in the corner, defended by Reed Sanders, who was the leading goal for the Trojans. High off the boards. There's a shot deflected by Luke Allis. Allis sends it up ice, intended for Billy Rose. Line change for the Bears. 3 minutes to go in regulation. There's going to be a penalty coming up, but there isn't. Brady O'Brien for the Bears. There is also icing with 2:36 remaining in regulation time. 4 championships were won by Edina teams today. The Pee Wee A and Pee Wee B1, both Pee Wee division teams, as well as the Squirt A and BantamAA. So more championship hardware for Edina. That's Stanfield. Goes off a Trojan player's skate. And we'll look to see if Sean Padden pulls Wyatt Vint for a 6th attacker. He stays in the game. Now Vint goes to the bench. There will be a 6th attacker with 1:28 to go in regulation. Here's Rose. Rose in the corner looks for an open white jersey. Back to Rose. Here's an opportunity, but Fraga deflects it with 1:05 to go. Here's a shot off of Fraga. 1 minute remaining in regulation time. They send it down the ice. Picked up by Gallatin. Now it's Bergslund for the Trojans. Goes out of play with 34.4 seconds remaining in regulation time, and a timeout for White Bear Lake. The net is empty for the Bears. We'll go to a 6th attacker as Wayzata hopes to close out the championship. But White Bear Lake, with an extra skater, hopes to tie the game and send it into overtime. There was already one overtime championship game. Edina and Minnetonka, with Edina winning in double overtime on John Tucker's goal with 1:34 to go. 1:32 to go in regulation. In the second overtime, that won the 4th championship of the day for Edina, as both teams are discussing last-minute strategy at their respective benches. Sean Patton guiding White Bear Lake, Nathan Hagermo and Joel Gray discussing strategy with the Trojans. As both teams return to the ice, the net remains empty for White Bear. White Bear gets the face-off. It's also blocked down to 17 seconds. An opportunity. Fraga holds on. 9.1 seconds. As it looks like there's a bit of extracurricular activity in front of the Wayzata goal with 9.1 seconds to go. There will be a coincidental minor penalty at 14:51 as Wayzata will call timeout. We hope you stick around for the awards ceremony, which will follow the championship game. As both teams will skate 5-on-5 for 9.1 seconds. In what will wrap up an exciting weekend of hockey in Edina. The 47th annual Edina Invitational. There were a pair of roughing penalties. Bergslund of Wayzata, Rose both for roughing. 7 divisions have competed in this weekend's tournament. 3 in Bantam, 3 in Pee Wee, and 1 squirt, the Squirt A division. 7 divisions. The faceoff goes to White Bear. It's blocked. That should do it, folks. The Wayzata Trojans are BantamAA champions. A key block in the slot prevented the Trojans from, or White Bear going for the tying goal, and the Wayzata Trojans have wrapped up the 2016 Edina Invitational BantamAA Championship. Congratulations to all of the participating teams on an outstanding tournament. Here's a recap before we go to the awards ceremony. White Bear Lake began the scoring on a goal from Cameron Berg with an assist from Spencer Millard, 14:26 of the first period. In the second period, Wayzata tied the game on a goal from Ryan Mulrenan, with Joel Matthews and Charlie Erickson assisting at 2:52. We'll get back to the recap after we go to the awards ceremony. Here's Pete Wagner. The Wayzata Trojans 2016 BantamAA champions in the 47th annual Edina Invitational Tournament. Wrapping up a great weekend of hockey at Braemar Arena in Edina. Concluding the recap of the AA Bantam Championship game, the game winner came from Reed Sanders, scoring from the slot on a pass from Joel Matthews, 2:08 into the third period. Wyatt Vint was pulled with a minute and a half to go in the third period, so White Bear Lake could go to a sixth attacker. But the score did not change as both teams played solid defense in the final minute and a half, including a key block from Wayzata that would keep the score at 2-1. For our cameraman, Kevin Hagstrom of PSB Media, and to everybody here who helped out with the webcasting today of 7 championship games in the Edina Invitational. This is Howard Luloff saying goodbye and reminding you once again the final score in the Bantam AA championship game. The Wayzata Trojans 2, the White Bear Lake Bears 1. Happy New Year and so long, everybody.